we're already hearing Kawhi's happy that he could be the Paul George of 2019 free agency by staying put wherever he's been traded to in a way that you didn't think would be possible. And then from what you're saying, Durant would leave Golden State but to do his own thing, which would, in my mind, leave Golden State showering a whole bunch of money on Klay Thompson, which everybody here in Los Angeles says Klay's coming here. He's going to play for Daddy Michael's team and come back and team up with LeBron. Exactly the type of player that they need in a three-point challenged shooting roster. Are we going to find that nobody wants to come and take that max contract from Magic Johnson? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's possible. Or it's someone you don't necessarily think is worthy of the max contract. You overpay somebody. Maybe it's DeMarcus Cousins. When he hits free agency from Golden State, we know he's not going back there. But the Jimmy Butler trade to Philadelphia, the Sixers don't make that deal unless they're confident they can either bring him back or willing to give him the 5-year deal that will guarantee that he comes back. I don't know. I mean, it's way too early with Kawhi and the Raptors. But I've always believed, Rich, and I've written this, that the people around Kawhi Leonard, I don't know if they necessarily spoke for what Kawhi Leonard wanted. I mean, Kawhi has always been a guy that just wants to win, wants to get well paid, and focus on basketball. He's on a team with a bunch of 20-somethings that he can grow with, that bench that people probably can't name with a roster sheet in front of them, but the Pascal Siakams, the OG Anunobis, these guys are really good players and really young players. So if Kawhi Leonard is looking at the next 5, 7, 8 years of his career, the best place for him to win is in Toronto with the Raptors. We don't know what the Lakers are going to be the next few years. We don't know what the Clippers are going to be for the next few years. He has a good idea what Toronto's going to be.
That's an interesting way that you bring up the Clippers, because you don't need to be told about how the NBA narrative works. Clearly, you're part of that machine. And it is a narrative-generating machine that's just like the NFL. It feels the same way, that there's a drama all the time. But one way that the NBA, I think, outstrips the NFL is that the narrative that always gets sold out there, there's an undercurrent that everybody starts talking about, and then the undercurrent usually takes, center stage. In the same way that nobody might want to play with LeBron and take that max contract, that the Clippers might eventually be viewed as the more viable choice for a free agent to come here to do their own thing. Match Taylor Swift for a number of banners in Staples. I mean, I went to the Kings game last night. There's the Laker banners all over the place. And then there's, the WNBA banners up there from the LA Sparks, right? And then you've got Taylor Swift's banner. There's nothing from the Clippers in there. So somebody could come to Los Angeles and create their own whole cloth dynasty or legacy, right?
Yeah, I think it's appealing, and the Clippers, I think, have done well, especially with their recent draft pick, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's a player. I think he's going to be a real player in this league. They've got a functional organization right now. The Lakers at the moment are dealing with some dysfunction. We don't know at the end of the year if Luke Walton is going to be that coach. Doc Rivers signed up for the long term. Lawrence Frank's in charge there. They've got an excellent front office.
Jerry West.
I was going to say my old colleague Lee Jenkins now.
Sorry, my bad.
I was told he was running. No, sorry, Lee. I don't mean that.
The new logo.
But yeah, they're functional. And when you talk to agents of pending free agents, one thing that's come up a lot in the last 4 or 5 years is the functionality of franchises. Like, is the coach going to be there for the long term? Is the GM entrenched at that position? Ownership, do they get involved? I mean, the big problem in Phoenix right now is Robert Sarver, who is one of the most meddlesome hands-on owners in the NBA. The Clippers seemingly have a pretty solid base, from ownership with Steve Ballmer to Lawrence Frank to Doc Rivers and everything in between. That means a lot. The Knicks this year, their big pitch to Kevin Durant isn't, look at Mitchell Robinson, he's a great player, or come play with Frank Ntilikina. Porzingis may not even come back this season. They don't care about that. All they want to do is look functional, to have Scott Perry lead their front office and David Fizdale be their head coach.
Can we send JD out with the straight shot then for like a year?
That's a problem.
Send him. So how about he and the unicorn swap spaces? We send Dolan with the straight shot to Eastern Europe. Go on a tour. Go see where LaMelo hung out. And then, bring the purple unicorn back. Can we do that?
You're not a fan of JD and the straight
Please.
Shot? No, you're not?
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.